Content warning. This podcast contains bones, blood, smut, and swear words.
This week, as we finish Nona the Ninth, insert your happy noise of choice here. We want to take a moment to thank all of you, our listeners, with a special shout out to our patrons who are gorgeous and who are really to blame for this show still existing. It's frankly bonkers that our words do not travel from our luscious lips directly into the river where they are swallowed by the stoma with minimal chewing en route. Thank you for being the ghostly ears and brilliant conspiracy-addled brains we pass through. And now, back to the Bone Zone.
Act 1. Welcome, penitents. Hello and welcome to the Frontline Fifth, a Locked Tomb podcast where a couple of delightfully naive teacher's aides explore the Locked Tomb series for the first time, while a couple of dried-out bone witches cackle over how little they really know. This week, we are charging through a whole host of devils to finish Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. Pew, pew, pew. I am
Also,
your
it's kinda
host.
sad. It's fine.
No.
I'm your host, dried out bone witch Hannah, and I wish I looked as spry and feisty as I Glamine. I am joined today by Marie, who always looks fly AF in her brown fifth house teacher fit. I learned the word fit this week, so.
Okay.
Congratulations, Hannah.
Marie, this week, we get to see NtN Gideon's secret handshake. So what is your secret handshake?
It's not secret, but I do enjoy, and it is like a thing with my research students, if you can like get like a crisp like upper high five that like swings down, and then you also get like the crisp like backswing high five.
Yes.
Is that why you're walking past each other?
No, we usually have it like very orchestrated, like it's not cool or like
Gotta
slick
lean
at all.
forward.
It's very much like, okay, we're gonna do this.
Oh, gotta try it
We
again.
gotta lined up. Oh, gotta try again.
I like the idea that part of the secret handshake is literally standing there and being like, ready? Okay.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Can I just throw out my wife?
My wife.
My wife, academic, PhD, but also secretly an athlete. And so
Yes.
she is always annoyed that like nobody in academia has the athleticism for the most part to nail high fives on the first take. I feel like they're
true.
like, it's really tough
I feel
to
like
get a
I've
good shot.
accidentally nailed one with her and she was shocked. She was floored. It's only accidental.
Which is extremely funny. This also is funny because John and his wife are this combo of like, his wife is a closet athlete and he is a closet nerd. It's this like approaching it from the opposite directions. I thought you were, I don't know what to tell you, John. I wasn't sure that you were going to be as fabulously nerdy as you are because you are a secret giant fucking nerd.
Yes.
Speaking of which, also with us today are the newly minted bone witches, Brooke and John.
Oh my God, we've graduated.
Congratulations.
It's graduation season.
It's not
so
a PhD,
proud.
but it's close. Yeah.
I feel at this point you
graduated with a
have, I think you have at the very least a master's.
It's a Dunning-Kruger degree.
Actually, if you think about it, I mean, this was like a 2-year program. So I feel like this is basically a master's. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like, that means we can keep going and we can work up, like, that's the first step, often in a PhD is like, you do like hit this bench point where it's like, that's a master's.
This was just the literature review stage.
I was going to say, Brooke,
Yes.
after Electo, you and I can present our fan theories as a defense. And for you, it'll
Yes.
be PTSD. For me, it'll be a novel experience.
No, it sounds.
I like this
great.
dissertation
No,
defense.
but also
and
you guys have to go off
gonna be
on your
better the
own
second time.
novel, on your own novel research with the next one. I like how we're just convincing ourselves that you're going to have a PhD in Locked Tomb. Okay, we should stop.
Marie and I are working on our tenure packet, and you guys can work on your dissertations. So, Brooke, John, you're still full of vim, vigor, fresh marrow, So I know that you retain the youthful joy and deep coolness to have rad AF secret handshakes. What are they?
John, do you have a secret handshake?
Not particularly. My only piece that I would insert here is the big jellyfish, which I think is like great, which is something my wife hit me with in college one time, which is where you hit the fist bump and then it's big jellyfish, which of course this is
full body jellyfish.
Yeah.
Full body.
I was gonna say I'm in on I like fist bump, blow it up into a little jelly with your hand, but the full body jelly is that's pretty fucking rocking.
big jellyfish.
I always liked that the wiggity wiggity handshake
From Rocket Power?
From Rocket Power.
Wiggity, 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 wiggity. Yeah, we are never beating the millennial coded allegations, truly.
I want to. I don't understand this.
We can't change who we are. It's
Let
fine.
us commit to our tragedy.
Also, our like mistress of ceremonies, like the one and only, like Tamsin herself is such a fucking millennial. So
It's
I
too
don't know
late
why
for
we're
all of us,
embarrassed about
including
it.
her. Yeah.
Right place, right time. That's all.
I gotta tell you, all of the jellyfish stuff reminded me, so this is not necessarily my secret handshake, but it is my favorite knock knock joke, which is, knock knock,
Who's there?
Who's there?
interrupting cow.
Interrupting
Moo.
cow. Ooh.
Right, okay.
Yes.
But a better version of that is knock knock,
Who's
Who's
there?
there?
interrupting starfish,
Interrupting
Interrupt.
star.
and then you put your entire hand over their face. It's fantastic. It's me. Thank
Marie's
you.
doing that to everybody she meets for the next week.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, good. Anyway. All right. Well, clearly we've been procrastinating long enough. It's finally time. Dearest Frontline Fifth hosts, if you could summarize the whole Locked Tomb series as it stands so far in just one sentence, what would it be?
I'm describing this series as a realistic story about the actions of kind and or competent people with limited information in a highly unrealistic future featuring necromancy.
I like that.
I really like this.
This is
Yeah.
That's a good first line of the abstract of the paper that you guys publish about,
Thank you.
the Locked
We're
Tomb.
getting there.
Yeah, okay.
I think John's got a strong second sentence, though.
Love is complicated. Jod is a piece of shit, but with depth.
But with depth.
But he's
Incredible.
complicated.
This is sorry. Okay, Marie, what is yours?
My summary is: do you want to never know what's going on, but you're happy about it?
Absolutely. I mean, this is really interesting. We've all approached this differently because Marie's is how you feel doing this. I took a quote from this week's chapters: multiple highly capable necromancers and a dog. And
Solid.
I'm just going to go ahead since we're kind of like going too hard on academics. I'm going to synthesize this. Are you ready? So this is the abstract is the Locked Tomb series something. We have a title, and it is multiple highly capable necromancers and a dog, a realistic story about the actions of kind and or competent people with limited information in a highly unrealistic future featuring necromancy. Do you want to never know what is going on but be happy about it? Jod is a piece of shit, but with depth. I think it's good. I think we can work on it.
Intro paragraph.
This is good. I'm sure there are other kind of like memes and references in these chapters, but the obvious one for me was the holiest of holies, and they're describing the tomb there. And this is quite a direct reference to the Holy of Holies, which is a term from Judaism that refers to like this inner sanctuary in the temple where God's presence actually like appeared. Part of what I think is interesting about this is a really classic Hebrew phrase construction to say the Holy of Holies, the man of men, the like, and what it is like the epitome, the quintessential version of this thing. And so it's not a superlative. I mean, it is a superlative, but what it is like the absolute truth of it. And I think it's interesting to convert this to the holiest of holies because it assumes that there's a range, which to me assumes that there can be a holier if you kept going farther. I don't know. And of course, this is added, funny because it also is kind of, it's a pit. It's a fucking
I was going to say, it's a
the
literal
bottom
hole.
of
Yeah,
exactly. The holiest of holies. There's a lie here. All right.
It's a hole in the bottom of the hole. It's like you get into
It's
it.
the holiest of all
it's a
the
hole at the
hole.
bottom of the hole. Yeah.
There you go.
And maybe it's also just because Tamsin is Catholic.
Yep. All right. Do we have any memes? Any SAT?
Can I just say that top 5 line in the entire series? is get in line, thou big slut.
Thou big slut.
That is easily top 5 for me, at least. That I laughed, I cackled, I had a full body chuckle. Like it was great.
I was a tiny bit peeved actually this time that there is this like little thing that happens afterward, and it's there as like a teaser of what's going to happen next.
But it could have ended on that line.
It could have ended on that big slut. Well, with that, get out your swords as we descend back into the depths of Djerba from whence we came, as we present Nona the Ninth, episode 19, The Vow. Act 2. You little three-way double crosser.
This section of Frontline 5th is safe for anyone who has finished Nona the Ninth. Let's go!
Let's recap. Chapter 31, Ninth House, Skull. Home sweet home, devils for days, mustache rides.
Chapter 32, Unlocked Tomb. Ianthe strikes again. Nona unravels.
Epilogue. First House Skull. Electo doth break her chains. How meat loves meat. 2 cavaliers.
All right. Well, the water disappears and the truck lands back where we started this entire adventure, in the shuttle field of the Ninth House. Nona is not doing great. Her top and bottom thoughts are getting needy, almost as like a bathroom thought in its insistence, and her body is literally falling apart. On top of that, everything is pretty wildly overwhelming. All of this is like, not a thing we can focus on because something is deeply wrong. Basically, the second they get off of the shuttle, Kiriona is like, do you hear that? And she heads deeper into the pit of the Ninth House, just leaving everyone behind. So Paul and Pyrrha, who's carrying Nona in her arms, hurry to catch up. And they arrive, they find Kiriona in this circular room where there is Seneschal named Marshal Crux, who is mortally wounded and tangled up in his black robes. Perhaps more immediately upsetting is the sight of the corpse prince surrounded by crumpled dead bodies, her sword wet and red with their blood. Don't worry, though. Argideon isn't going around just stabbing randos in revenge for her childhood trauma. Although she could. She's out there murdering devils. These fuckers are corrupted. They've got tongues slithering out of their eyes. They've got little pinpricks around the eyelid where the teeth came through. This is the shit that happened to Colum Ash back in book 1. And they are bad news. Do we have thoughts about this?
The fuck are we doing opening a new can of worms at this point?
Sorry. How unhinged is that? This is literally like, these are the last chapters of the 3rd book, and we thought we were closing a loop.
We've been waiting for so long to see these things, and she brings it back in the second to last chapter
and tells us nothing about it. It's just like, and now we are overrun with devils. They're real fucked up. We'll find out about it later.
New plot. Wait a few years.
My only solace in this is that the entire fan base is with us on this one, as opposed to just me and Brooke having to be spoon-fed 2 chapters at a time for the foreseeable future.
Fair enough. This is the first where like literally all of us are like, what the actual fuck, bro? It also, I was very impressed with you guys. You really focused and remembered that this happened to Colum. And part of it was that because I read these progressively as they came out, and I wasn't necessarily, I don't think I reread Gideon before I did Nona, I literally had forgotten entirely that this happened in the first book and had to go back and find the scene. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I probably would have been that with normal reading habits. Yeah, I can see how that easily happens. 2 books ago, a single reference where you're just like, that happened, it was scary, and then nothing.
They are bad news. We know that they're bad news for multiple reasons. The sight of them fucks up Nona even further. It's basically described as her having another heart attack. Pyrrha says such a bad word that Nona is shocked and is about to be like, Pyrrha language, and then is like, you can say whatever you want right now. Seems like the time.
I get it.
And Kiriona, honestly, is freaking out as well. They shouldn't be here. They're confined to Antioch. He said they'd only be on Antioch.
What the fuck?
Which is like, Antioch, I guess.
Yep. This is like our explanation of like Ianthe being like, you think we're worried about you. That's not what we're fighting.
Okay, so in fact, basically, the cohort has been fighting devils on Antioch for something like 3 to 4 months, according to Gideon and Kiriona. They've been here on the Ninth House, according to Crux, a night and a day.
I
So,
think
like, this
timing
doesn't
is weird.
explain. Yeah, I mean, basically, we've been kind of trying to figure what the fuck Jod is doing this whole time, and then Ianthe drops this little Antioch bomb, being like, oh, maybe this is, like, I think John and I were, like, thinking maybe that's where all, like, the people who got away ended up, or, like, trying to follow the breadcrumbs we've been given, and this is just something entirely different, entirely new, not related, I guess, to anything else that's ever been going on until this little, like, break in between Harrow and Nona the night.
Well,
like,
there's also a nugget in here where it sounds like this isn't the first time they've been in the home system. They've been there, like
well, they've
Pyrrha
been at
says.
Canaan House.
Yeah, Pyrrha says that they've been there before. Well, Pyrrha wouldn't have known that, right? So
This is a good point. I think it's a really good point.
They've encountered these things before in the 9 houses.
I think it's
This
really
isn't like a new
important,
thing.
both that Nona's top and bottom thoughts seem to recognize this in a really like visceral way. And I think it's really important, like you said, John, that Pyrrha seems to recognize this. And it's also still not clear to me what they are. The specific times I put in here because the times make no sense to me. And we don't know where Antioch is or what, you know, is happening there. When it happened to Colum, it was a question of his soul kind of being, his body was being emptied. And his body was being emptied in a way that potentially allowed something to come in.
And seemed to be what teacher was referring to of, like, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. So was that happening on Antioch? Was that happening on the night? There's a lot here to kind of unpack. And I think we should get into it in a rampant speculation this week. And we can get into it deeper in our murder boarding in a couple of weeks. But the key thing is this. They've got some zombie energy. Their touch consumes. They hunger for the youngest of us. Their bodies twist.
Boy, are they out of luck.
I know.
Yeah, that's a hilarious Gideon throwaway line. Yeah.
I have, oh my God, and I have a follow-up on that. That was very funny. All right, their bodies twist. They do not know how to use their bodies. Some of them are dead walking. Those are the weaker kind. Fleshed corpses they took, but the bones they wanted none of.
I had an asterisk here because that like caught my mind like this time, and I was like, is this why in the 9 houses like the beautiful corpse is
like so forbidden,
like, taboo?
Yeah, what a great point. Whereas like having skeletal constructs is totally cash. That's a great point. Paul tries to heal Crux, and Crux is basically like, do not fucking touch me, although he says it in his old angry way.
With as many insults as possible.
Both Crux and Curiona crack down on that energy real hard, because the problem is that they hit him. The devils hit him. It's revenant magic. They are waiting for him to die so they don't have to work so hard. Heal him up now, and they'll still ride that wound all the way into his hideous old body. You can't cure this. It's spirit shit.
That's super interesting, because we were worried about empty vessels before, and now it seems like they're forcing their way. They're displacing souls, or, they're waiting for souls to die. Well, I guess if they die, they're empty vessels. But that hasn't been a problem before. Like, we haven't been worried about just bodies that died not naturally, but like just died.
Right.
Before previously, we were only worried about when someone's soul got purposely vacated from a like good vessel, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Like a healthy body.
Yeah, a healthy body.
Well, we just have this new variable, which is, and I think they say they bit him.
Right, but then she said that doesn't have to be a bite. It's just like essentially like if they like wounded him or touched him.
That's new. That's entirely different than what we just thought, which was like maybe an opportunistic situation.
And there are more devils coming at them, so they got to get out of there. They all get in an elevator and head down, down, down into the Anastasian monument where the tomb lies. Down on the bottom floor, when they get there, Crux is surprised to find that Sister Canis and Deacon David, who should have been on guard here, are missing. To which Gideon says, holy shit, Sister Canis is still alive? If you're using her as a last line of defense, how bad off are we?
And then Crux says she has something that you've never had, which is like loyalty and something. And then Gideon says something about having functional knees, which is hilarious.
She's like, yes, but I have something she doesn't.
That's one of the things that's like wild about this is like Pyrrha already knows the specs. She literally knows where the tomb is down there because she's been there. She was there before it was the Anastasian. She painted a nursery, mint green.
Classic random throwaway line.
Right?
That has deep implications. What the fuck was that?
Something about like,
what the
why
fuck?
doesn't she use... Maybe it's not here, maybe it's later. She's like, why doesn't she add some fairy lights or something? You could like make little skulls.
That was so cute.
Like go with the ambiance.
I mean, she's also not wrong. Doesn't it make you want to... Okay, sorry. We can get into it later, but it would be really interesting to know whether this was Anastasia's like actual ambiance or if this is something that got it added afterwards and like ascribed to her in the ninth house.
Well, isn't there a line where it was like she never thought that the skull was like the most interesting bit anyway, which I also like mentally had an asterisk being like Anastasia also thinks that the coccyx is the sexiest bone.
I just felt vindicated because I think I said the skull was my favorite bone, and you're like, that's multiple bones.
Whatever, they fuse. All right. So Pyrrha tells Nav to take point, I'll take the rear, which sends Nona into cackling, basically. And at that, Crux finally realizes that Nona is not Harrowhark after all. What? Actually, to be fair, if you saw Harrow laugh at that, like it would not be funny. It would be upsetting. You'd be like, you are ill. Something is like horribly, horribly awry. Are you okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nona, for her part, despite laughing, is starting to feel cold all over. Pyrrha's zipper scratches her a little, and it literally doesn't heal, which is an unthinkable thing. Nona shrugged off how many bullets in a row? So the end of the tunnel is barred with bone, and there they find what remains of the ninth house, led by Iglamine, who reaches out to touch Gideon's face and recoils, finding her dead. And she's fucking livid. She like turns on Nona, thinking that Nona is Harrowhark, right? She's furious at Harrow for having let Gideon die. I mean, in a weird way, Gideon kind of is this like de facto child for Iglamine.
Mm-hmm.
And not even in a weird way, just it is just true.
The way that, in the way that Harrow is Crux's child, and it's really interesting because Iglamine and Crux also have like a very they have to work together, but they have beef, and it's kind of like their favorite children are always
at
like
odds
at
with
each
one
other,
another.
and they're always at odds with each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so she like rounds on not Harrow, and Curiona has to be the one to say it's not her captain, it's only her body. Nona's body, by the way, Harrow's body is fully shutting down. They need to get her soul back in. So they have to get through to the tomb. They don't have time. And Nona's not sure about this. She says, I might not help you when I'm back. I'll be different. I'll remember everything. I'll remember the thing that I'm trying to forget. And Palamedes, I won't love him. I won't love Camilla or Pyrrha or Hot Sauce or even Noodle. I won't be me at all. Paul tells her not to worry. She has this amazing response where she's like, actually, I just told you in detail why I'm worried, and I feel it should matter a lot. It just really it hit me because I feel like I've been getting a lot of those comments lately where it's like, oh, you know, this should not be, well, just don't worry about it. And I'm like, actually, I'm very worried.
I told you all the reasons why I'm very worried.
I just told you I'm worried, so not worrying is not really a great option.
But
this isn't an irrational fear.
Yeah. I do love, though, that the next thing Paul says actually really breaks me. Says, Camilla and Palamedes were loved by Nona. Pyrrha was loved by Nona. It's finished. It's done. You can't take loved away. We loved you too. Palamedes and Camilla loved you. I was thinking about this week. One of the first times we see Palamedes in this book, well, I guess it's probably like chapter 5 or something, but he's having the conversation with Nona about love and about how no one gets to tell you who to love. No one can stop you from loving someone, and neither are they obliged to love you back. And I really loved this as like the evolution of Palamedes, Paul, who's like recognizing not only that no one can stop you from loving, but that like no one can take away loved once it's there. Loved is always and forever true. You know, even if it's not true tomorrow, it was true today.
Mm-hmm.
Pyrrha says, don't worry, Kitty. I'll keep loving you. And who you you're capable of more than you think right now. I liked you. Gideon liked you. And hey, what's like except a love that hasn't been invited indoors?
I love that so much.
This is also a point where I have to say, like, it's been ringing around in my brain since you got mad at Tamsin, like last week or a couple of weeks ago, where you say, like, just let a moment land, Tamsin. No, you can't take loved away. What's like except a love that hasn't been invited indoors. And then immediately after that, you get
mustache rides.
Mustache rides.
That's really fucking funny. You're totally right. This beautiful moment. And Nona has this like moment of much deserved self-pity because she didn't get her beach party or a cake or any dog. She didn't even get a birthday present from Pyrrha. And Pyrrha's like, Queen, I got you a birthday present days ago, right? Pyrrha got her a t-shirt, one of the high quality ones that doesn't just melt when you wash it, with a picture of a cartoon mustache advertising cheap mustache rides. low prices. And
By the way, I get this, but I don't know if all of you do, but like a moment means the most at the moment's delivered to me, and like then it gets a little awkward if you just kind of like sit in it. Like
you can sit too long. It's what you want is to like let it land and move on. But Tamsin likes to let it move on.
Her timing is about my timing, so I get it.
I think it's my timing too, which is why I never really noticed it before.
So
I was like, oh yeah, that was a nice moment. Like, I don't want to think about this emotionally too deeply. Like, I can't do this right now. Like,
it felt great on impact.
You know what? You can't take loved away. You can't take that moment away. It was there. It doesn't need to land. So, I love it.
Yeah.
I also love, so Paul says basically that Palamides wouldn't have let her wear that outside the house. Camilla wouldn't have let her wear it inside either. They're like, Paul, what about you?
What about you, Paul?
Yeah. They say, her choice. And in any case, mustache rides should be free.
These two paragraphs were such a microcosm of delight. This is... Of like all the paragraphs about love in the series, I really enjoyed this one, like as one of my favorites. And then this is probably one of my favorite follow-ups to like Tamsin landing an emotional moment.
It's still about love.
Yeah.
It's still about love. Mustache rides should be free.
This is what I saw there was consent. Like that was no coercion. Like that's just
No coercion, lots of friction.
And with that, Nona's ready, so they just head on. We're just going to walk right past it into total darkness because they're not allowed to have any light here. And then everybody's feet make a big squelch, and suddenly a light flicks on. They are standing in a huge room, a cathedral-level cave, in front of an enormous stone rock, presumably the rock that should never be rolled away. And there in front of it is Ianthe smoking a cigarette.
Was not prepared for this at all.
Nope. That squelch, that would be them walking into a patented Ianthe fat trap. Everyone is stuck
adipose
fast.
tissue and like mucosal membrane or something, like my own recipe, and I was like, fuck you. This is so gross.
I would like to say that so far, the entire series, anytime fat is mentioned, it's Ianthe.
Oh,
like
it's always
yes.
Ianthe. 100%.
Gruesome.
Ianthe goes right up to Kiriona and looks her dead in the eyes, and they do a fucking secret handshake. It becomes immediately clear that Kiriona has been on Ianthe's side all along. They are literally wearing friendship bracelets.
Oh my God, John.
Do you guys remember the friendship bracelet line from Harrow?
I'm so locked in.
Isn't it in Harrow?
Listen,
I don't remember from Harrow.
The amount of caffeine that I have when I read these books, and then the amount of times I've reread them, it's like that scene in The Matrix where like the letters are just falling down the screen. He's like, I just see redhead, brunette, blonde. And like, that's how I feel at this point, where I'm just like, I see the throwaway lines. I see the lines within the lines.
Bracelet, mint green nursery.
Yeah, Marie, tell them about the line though, because this is actually a callback to Harrow the Ninth.
I haven't looked this up for this, so it's going to be
maybe it's
whatever.
Gideon
But
the Ninth. Maybe you're right.
No,
it
isn't Gideon. It isn't Gideon, because she's going to go rescue her, and she's basically like, if anybody is killed her, like nobody gets to kill her except for me, except maybe if they did kill her, like maybe like I'd have to marry them or whatever, except that seems like weird. What if they're weird or something? Then we could just get friendship bracelets instead.
It's this line about killing Harrow and how she'd have to marry whoever killed Harrow, but what if they're weird? And I love this. So this literally came to pass because Ianthe, for all intents and purposes, effectively...
Well, what it means is that Kiriona is like, yeah, you killed Harrow.
You fucked, yeah.
Which is funny because it's like, yeah, Gideon is always like, I hate Harrow. I don't really love Harrow. But also, anybody who killed Harrow, like I think that line of like, they're wearing friendship bracelets says a lot.
Yep.
Because it says a lot about what Gideon thinks is happening.
Yes.
And what Gideon thinks Ianthe is responsible for.
Yes.
And it makes this whole their
thought
friends
process here.
Yeah, it makes this whole they're friends make a lot more sense because Ianthe thinks they're friends.
Oh, Ianthe definitely thinks they're friends. And they basically have been the people holding holding Jod in any sort of sanity, right? Kiriona says that she doesn't know what Jod would do without them around. Of course, per Ianthe, he'd be doing exactly the same thing he's doing now, drowning his sorrows in whatever or whoever comes to hand, including most recently Grand Admiral Sarpedon.
And a group of other officers
surprised
as well.
me. Yes, like the idea that he's just sleeping his way through some sort of grief, whatever the grief really is about.
It's like a midlife crisis, mid-myriad crisis or whatever.
What is it about? Is it about, like, the remaining lictors betraying him?
His
Like,
duplicitous
so.
sluts.
Yes,
I think
his
so too.
duplicitous sluts? But, like,
and
I'm
being the
shocked.
only one left.
So, he started off as the only one there. He can just
Right,
wake
but what did
people
he
up
do
again.
when he was the only one there? He didn't just like, oh, like, let's restart fresh. He restarted with, like, his people around them, but also probably wiped
Sure.
their brains so that they would like him even more than they did previously.
Found this surprisingly impractical from somebody who's been around for 10,000 years. That's all.
Surprisingly impractical is dead on. He's being a whiny little child, and he is responding to it by the equivalent of eating all of your Halloween candy at once, except in this case, the Halloween candy is Grand Admiral Sarpedon.
Which is why we have to point out that, like, part of why we were on this is Sarpedon Judith's dad, and, like, trying to, like, make the case that he is because it'd be so much funnier.
It's hysterically fucking funny if Judith wakes up and
No, this is sad in this exact moment because poor Judith
that's
got
true.
deaded
Yeah.
in the river.
This is, Judith
Probably,
may or
yeah.
may not. Yeah, she may. We'll see.
Her soul got yoinked.
What a great word for it, though. Yoink. Anyway, this is neither here nor there. Kiriona wants them to get the tomb open. She says Jod sent her, told her to kill his former cavalier, and then Gideon will become his new cavalier. Father, daughter. It's gonna be awesome. Ianthe's like, you can't possibly believe that. Ianthe says he loves her. John loves Alecto. John needs Alecto. Without that piece of goddamn fridge meat, he's nothing, and we need to keep him that way.
Hamstrung by his own sorrows.
I feel like this is a really interesting line, though, because it also is a good reminder that Ianthe, for all that she is being the good little lictor child, is running her own game, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're schemers.
Schemers. But the other big problem with this is that the name has now been said out loud. Alecto has been said. The secret is out. And Nona unravels physically. Her body starts coming apart. Blood is pouring out from her pores. She's just got organs collapsing. She is literally falling apart. It's time to move.
Gross.
So we don't need any more Ianthe. Pyrrha shoots Ianthe with a herald bullet that she had been saving for Jod. Everyone frantically starts trying to open the tomb. They're like yelling at each other. They can't figure out what to do. Alecto is starting to remember herself. She's remembering the experience of John putting her there, saying it's pretty, you'll like it.
I love the trope of saving a specific bullet for one person. And
It's a good one.
this is
And then
this is
having
a
to
good
use
trope.
it.
Yes. But
Actually,
for a
This
good
is a better
cause,
use
yeah.
for it.
Do
I
we
bet it
get
didn't
to
work.
count this as like a Pirates reference, like for that reason? Because saving a
No.
bullet for one person, yes, but then using it on someone else. Opening the tomb requires a burst of fresh Thanergy. They need to kill someone. So Crux offers himself up. He says, I will commit this apocalyptic sin. And Kiriona is like, fuck right off, fine by me, and kills him. And it didn't
Then
feel
freaks
good.
out.
Why didn't it feel good? Yeah, she freaks out really badly.
I think that was justified. That was an interesting little scene. Yeah.
I think it's one of the saddest things.
It's
Yeah.
devastating, actually. Yeah, because this is this thing where actually right
It's
before
a
this
series
happens,
of tragedies.
like right before this happens, she turns to him and she's like, do you know that my dad is
Yeah.
God? She's like, you've been like beating on me my whole life, treating me like absolute shit.
Mhm.
I was important. And it's this thing where you're trying to justify your importance and your worth through some external stupid thing. My dad was God, instead of saying what you really want to say, which is, I'm a fucking person. And you've always
Yeah.
treated me like I was a worm. Yeah.
And he tells her it doesn't matter.
He
that
commits to
she
it,
was
doubles
never-
down.
He doubles
Yeah.
down and commits to it, and so she does kill him, not just because he offered himself up and because it's necessary and all of these other things, and like potentially just but awful thing, right? She kills him out of anger.
As he's saying these horrible things to her. Yeah.
And then says it didn't feel good. Why didn't it feel good?
It never occurred to me that that could have been him goading her into doing the action that needed
I
to
think it
happen.
was.
But like, I don't know, really. Like
I
in
think
the
it
end,
was. Yeah.
A little.
he was very consistent to the point where like maybe,
Well, honestly, it works
he
both
means
ways,
it.
though, right?
yeah. Anyway,
All right. So, Brooke, you have a question here that I think is a really important question, and
oh my
ask
God,
it here,
right.
and let's delve into it in rampant speculation as well.
Opening the tomb requires a fresh burst of energy from killing someone. So how the fuck did Harrow get in before?
I think that she's just that good.
Where'd she get the energy from?
It's possible, but you would think that Paul
her
would be
just
that
reserve
good
of
too.
200 some.
That is also this is let's get into it in rampant speculation. We'll come right back to it. In any case, they make it through the door. They make it past the rock. They are in the tomb, and Alecto takes over and moves the baby's body, Harrow's body, into that freezing salt water. The waters part, and she walks across the bones at the bottom to find her own body.
We got a Moses moment.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It also was interesting. So it's this Moses moment, but there's bones at the bottom, and she says they reminded her of something, but she couldn't think about it now. I still don't know what that is.
Yeah, what's with all the fucking bones?
I don't understand what
We're
the
in the
bones at the
ninth
bottom
house.
are.
She sees her own body, and within her, she can see the child, which is basically Harrowhawk's soul asleep. She crumbles forward onto the body, and there's a massive shift in the writing style for the epilogue here. It's biblical? What would we call this?
Shakespearean, almost? Like
No.
old English?
No, it's
It sounds
It's biblical.
Yeah.
it's closer to biblical than Shakespearean. And we had at least one person write into our email box about how they think that the next book might be written in like various styles that one could write this next
So
book
I will
in.
say,
Please
what we
save
know
me from
from
that. This is so
Tamsin
hard for me to read.
is that she won't do that, but rather than the last book being like one kind of viewpoint, the way that it's been, it will be multiple.
Okay. Mixed
She
feelings.
stakes her claim.
Okay. All right. It's fine. So Alecto breaketh her chains.
I do want to point out here, because we do talk about it in Rampant Speculation, when she like wakes up, she wakes up screaming "you,"
Yeah.
because the poem at the beginning of the book cuts off with "y," and then she wakes up
Oh.
screaming "you."
Well,
I
that's a fun little
love
connection.
that, Marie. I did not realize that, but that's a completely brilliant connection.
So the poem is basically Jod shutting her off, like putting her in the tomb.
Saying go to sleep. Yeah. I mean, it is this like almost lullaby. And the way that she's describing her memories of it, John saying, oh, it's a beautiful thing. And there were so few beautiful things left. And she wants, it's horrible. It's like taking a puppy out to the woods and facing it the other way so you can shoot it kind of energy. Yeah.
Calm down, Christina.
Yeah.
Alecto breaks her chains. Ianthe raises her weapon, but Harrow says, and I'm inferring this from all of the like, you know,
Yes.
pronouns that are
Second
used
child,
here.
first child. Took
Yeah.
me so long to figure out that calling people babies and children was just her word for people.
Yeah, because actually, so we know that people call other people babies and children when they're 10,000 years old. Kitharea was doing that all throughout Gideon the Ninth. And Alecto
Alecto
is
is
not
billions.
10,000 years old. Yeah, exactly.
Much older.
So Harrow tells Ianthe, touch her and our vow will come to nothing and I will slay you where you stand. Ianthe says something about Harrow being half dead. And Harrow's like, yeah, but you would be 2 halves dead, bitch. So they've got this great little back and forth here, a classic Harrow and Ianthe buddy cop movie as translated through Alecto's biblical brain. Alecto just smacks Ianthe with her hand off into the water.
Is it just biblical just for vibes? Like,
Yes. Yes, and I think also to like make you understand that this is Alecto, this isn't Nona.
This is a totally different way
Okay.
of understanding the world and feeling it. It's also interesting to me, though, because the body and arguably the brain of Alecto were created by Jod, a person who has been formed by, we know, clearly Roman civilization, Catholicism, like Jod.
okay, so that you think it stems from there.
I think that's some of it,
Maybe.
is what
A soul
Jod
melange.
thinks an old-timey person would sound like.
Okay, I think that makes more sense than trying to claim that the earth would speak in biblical English.
Fair enough. Yeah. I do think it's interesting when we talked about, I know we talked about this, the other resurrection beasts, when they were seen by the lictors, are all seen as, so like the one we think is Mars is like a machine with whirring blades. And the one that we think is Venus was very beautiful, but just keeps holding you underwater and saying, kill, kill, kill. And all I could think is like, this is clearly not the shape of a planet. This is clearly this externally imposed vision of what Venus means and what Mars means. And so it made me wonder how much of that happens to Alecto as well. How much of this is the imposed what Earth means. Although also, sense. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so Harrow looks at Alecto, who the object of her obsession since she was like 10 years old, and says, "O course of the locked tomb, I have loved thee all my life, with mine whole soul and with mine whole strength. Destroy me according to thy word, for I love thee." Which, incidentally, is awfully similar to the thing that Pyrrha says to Wake in the notes. Kill me if you must, but I need to kiss you first. Alecto is angry. It's described as anger, and she kisses Harrow hard enough to draw blood. And she says, "This is how
bite.
It is a bite.
It's
this
a
is
chomp.
how meat loves meat."
It's a chomp,
like,
yeah.
But I love the attempt. And there's something very interesting about the fact that while Nona loves the lessons of the hand and mouth, Alecto does not understand those super well.
Good point.
Tasting that blood, Alecto's like, "Ooh, I haven't tasted that blood before. Delicious." Realizes that Harrowhark is from Anastasia's bloodline.
That's so fucked up.
And she says, "I remember my vows. As I swore to Anastasia, I swear to you. I am in your service." To which Gideon yells out, "John, do you want to take it?"
Thou big slut.
Amazing.
And that would have been a glorious ending to the book. But one more thing happens. Alecto goes down to the ship. What ship? Don't know. And stands before John, purposing to travel through the river, and was grieved to find it yet dead. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't know what any of this shit means. John is asleep and still drunk. Harrow is thrown over Alecto's arm in some sort of deep sleep, and Alecto stabs John's heart with the sword with her other hand, at which John awakened and said, "Annabelle, good morning."
Bringing us back to that poem from the beginning again. What is morning? So does this mean that everyone who fucked with him is dead?
No, because he said he would wake her in the morning, but
he didn't wake her up. Yeah. So maybe he planned to wake her up once everyone who fucked with him is dead.
Yeah, and Ianthe kind of thought that maybe this was a setup since he was potentially encouraging Kiriona. Here, we'll get into this.
Okay. Well, fuck me. Time for a game. Interstitial. You cancerous gosling. Look, I love an epithet. I am not great at making them, but I just enjoy them so much, and I enjoy Crux's epithets so much. This is what I have my friends for. I need you to help me, because this week, it's all about those disgusting little cuckoos, and we've added a twist. We need to be able to give out epithets in style, but also in styles. I've asked our host to design epithets for people both real and imaginary that will suffice for a specific era or vibe.
Probably could have chosen somebody with a more creative mean streak than me.
I had a really hard time with this assignment that I gave all of us. We're going to start with eras. John, can you give us an epithet for Our Lady of the Passion in kind of 90s aughts verbiage?
Badass machete lady.
Badass machete lady. Hell yeah.
All right, Brooke, we need an epithet for the angel in 70s, 80s.
That's Aim, the rad animal lady.
Yeah, also wonderful. Marie, can we get one for Noodle, maybe from the Roaring 20s?
it's a hotty-totty six-legged beastie.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Okay, that actually, I'm taking a picture. I need Sonia to make that one. That one actually has to be merch.
20s language is definitely cool.
I assigned myself to do We Suffer from the late 1800s, and then I was like, oh my god, I don't know any slang. So I looked up some.
Can you distinguish that from the early 1800s, personally?
No, I literally just ended up Googling 1800s slang, and this is what I have come up with for her. We suffer that Skillimalink basket of oranges bang up to the elephant, which is...
What the fuck?
Skillimalink is secret or shady. Basket of oranges is a pretty woman. And bang up to the elephant is perfect, complete, and unapproachable.
This is why I struggled with Jane Austen.
Yeah. Well, I will also say that one of the slang words from the 1800s that I found was giggle mug, which is a person who just can't stop smiling. And I was like, oh,
that's
they knew
solid.
me.
It's like the opposite.
Yeah,
It's the opposite of RBF.
Yeah, I was about to say that, yes.
A giggle mug.
Giggle mug.
Giggle mug.
I'm a giggle mug. The problem with being a giggle mug is everybody will talk to you.
I
Yes,
know.
and I love it. I love when strangers talk to me. This is like one of my absolute favorite things. I think I
Love
told you
that
guys
for
this
you.
before.
I
I
hate
had
it
this
for
really
me.
funny experience. I started a new job at the end of COVID when we were all still masking. And like 6 months after that, we all stopped masking and people could see each other's faces for the first time. And one of these people that I had become friends with kind of stopped talking to me for a while. And finally I was like, hey, is everything okay? And he said like, yeah, I just like, why do you keep laughing at me? And I was like, oh no, that's just my face. Like you haven't known, but literally the whole, like, I just am smiling all the time. I can't not do it. I can be really angry and I still look like this. Anyway, all right. Now that we have warmed up, let's go hard for literary styles, shall we? John, I want Pyrrha, high fantasy.
The enduring spirit.
That's it. That's also actually a perfect epithet. Like that's the way an epithet ought to be. Pyrrha, the enduring spirit. That's wonderful. Brooke, can you do Camilla, but romance?
Steely-eyed Camilla.
Again, a perfect epithet. That's phenomenal. Marie, I would like Calamities, and I would like it to be in the style of a textbook.
Oh my
This
God.
is insulting. Low BMI individual with facial features indicative of Marfan syndrome.
This is exactly a textbook. That's textbook. That's amazing. Thank
Also,
you
quite
for that.
possibly the greatest necromancer of his generation.
No,
But
that's
there's
speculation.
footnotes there. I'm doing Nona from Sci-Fi, and I have Nona, a multidimensional quantum entangled pterophile.
Ooh.
What?
Yep.
Terrifile.
So that went well, I think. Did it? Well, we should try some.
It went.
It went.
It went.
Let's try some that are just for Crux. In the style of
possibly?
Crux, the master of the epithet.
This one was hard. And I also think it's because I just, he says things that could, in one sense, be kind of cute, but also like they're just so mean, and he has such a vocabulary.
Is there anything cuter
Yeah.
than a cancerous gosling?
Filigree Piglet?
Yeah.
Filigree Piglet is my favorite, and I think it's also
Yes,
known as
Piglet.
Piglet. favorite.
Filigree Piglet, cancerous gosling. You're absolutely right. It's simultaneously adorable and also incredibly debasing. So, John, can you do your favorite Roman emperor or figure?
I chose Poseidon / Neptune, because I think that's just the best nickname, or epithet, I guess, which is the Earthshaker. Like that's just such a good.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
really
great
like
one.
that. Yeah.
And then also Pluto, just Lord of the Underworld, goes so hard. It's
Yeah, it does.
So that sounds like Crux actually kind of likes these Roman figures. That's cool. That's good for them.
I could see that, actually.
Being on the other
Brooke,
side of it.
what do you got for the lioness?
I decided he wasn't really into the lioness. He'd call
He
her
would hate
an
the lioness.
unnatural harbinger of our legacy's end.
Ooh, Harbinger. Good use there. Good use.
Mm.
Marie, did you pick a biblical figure for Crux to
I
slander?
did. I started with one, and then I was like, oh, Crux never says anything nice. I can't pick somebody who's actually a saint. Because I'll feel
I hear
bad
that.
saying it out
Nope,
loud.
I get that. That's completely okay.
So instead, we have Judas, you impecunious, clammy-handed, two-faced whore.
Ooh,
Impecunious.
that was phenomenal.
clammy-handed.
Really, really good. I thought I would do R2D2. I feel like Crux would trip over R2D2 and say, "You bulbous base golem."
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
All right, let's do one last one. I want epithets that would suit the vibes of the Noniad. So, John, I gave you the honey badger.
We're not beating the millennial allegations because all I had here was they who do not give a fuck.
Perfect. There you go. I think that's, Orders did write that. So, Brooke, do you have one for mantis shrimp?
Small aquatic fury incarnate.
Ooh, most excellent. Marie, can you give me one for sea sheep?
Yes, I checked, and I believe that this is enneameter, but I don't think that the scansion is correct, but I did try.
Oh, I didn't even know there was something else to think about other than 9 syllables.
Opistobranch beauty, oh, verdant.
Oh, sorry, that is
Okay.
actually beautiful. I kind of think I sort of think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't know, what would you call it? The scansion? Is this the feet?
Yes. Yeah, so I did mine for Garanuk in its dactylic-ish enneameter-ish. I didn't have time to do it properly. So I have Garanuk, neck slender, full haunched.
Haunched.
Ooh. Oh, it has to be haunched. Yes.
Yep. In
What
order for it
is-
to be.
What is so what's the appropriate feet situation here?
The noniad is written in dactyls, which is soft, hard. Garanuk.
Because it's got to be divisible by 3.
Garanuk, although neck slender also doesn't do it, and full haunched also doesn't do it. So just ignore me. Mine was 1 dactyl and a couple of other things. We are not going to do a spoiler section this week, so I did want to do one last mini game. Pyrrha has some extra time, has offered to let us paint John's nursery. That would be our John's nursery. It's for his baby, not for him. Not that he doesn't deserve a cozy spot to sleep. We can all bring one direction or design element to the room. So what are you bringing to the nursery?
Guys, we got to be careful about this because it has to suit John's wife's sensibilities as well.
So it's
And,
just
like-
volleyballs. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Hey, I have my thing that I
God, would it be?
genuinely believe that would be like just so kind of nice and calming when you have to be up in the middle of the night with a wee baby, which is those like little soft lights that like put like little like stars or planets or stuff
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
on the walls. That's what I'm adding.
I
Are
love
those
that.
distracting,
I
the
really
glow-in-the-dark
love that.
stars? That was the very first thing I thought of as well.
They're lovely.
When they're little, they don't give a shit.
It's for you.
Yeah. I
Lovely.
always
Ambiance.
wanted to have glow in the dark stars, so this is also something that someday.
I was thinking it needed to dive a little bit into nerddom, but it's still got to be kind of like cute. It can't go full nerd. So I was thinking little dragons.
Oh, I
They're so
love
cute.
that. That makes me very
so many
happy.
dragons.
Also, actually, at this point, so in the same vein, nerdy but cute and lovely, I want red wall characters in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think there are red wall characters along like the baseboard of the room.
Oh, it's adorable. It's like woodland creatures, but fantasy style.
Exactly. John, is there anything you're gonna do?
Well, yeah, if it's One Direction, then we got to have something that's Harry style. So we are having a gorilla or monkeys on the wall.
God damn it.
That was big stretches there.
Harry
Those were
Styles
leaps
is
and
good.
bounds.
Stretch.
Oh, well, with that, John's gonna go rock himself to sleep. But first, rampant speculation. Act 3. God, this place has gone downhill. We finished the fucking book, people. So in a few weeks, we're going to do, and I don't know how many weeks, listener, I'm sorry. We'll do an episode or two that is just full force, frontline 5th murderboarding. But for this week, we have our first chance to try speculating all together. So I'm limiting us to speculation that's linked to these chapters specifically. I would like to ask for the very first time, Brooke, John, Marie. You got to say my name.
Hannah.
Hannah.
Donkey!
What the fuck is happening? Oh my god. All right.
That went impeccably.
It was perfect. I want to ask first about the devils. How do you feel about the devils? What are they? Whence do they come? And we talked about some of the specifics there.
Great questions. Really great questions.
The timing is what screws me up. My favorite theory, my pet theory, is that they have to do with Electo saying, like, where are the people? You've left them too long. And the fact that something fucked up is going on in the river. So they are like the souls that haven't been
Mm-hmm.
that have been like left in the river too long, because when Jod does resurrection, basically all that he has done, actually this is new for like really just like right this moment that I realized.
Yeah.
What he does with resurrection is that he holds on to the souls so that they can't pass. So like the river, like they're supposed to go somewhere, they're supposed to cross the river, but in what he has done is basically hold it up so that he's held on to the souls and basically just kept them from going anywhere. And then he also has the bodies that are reconstituted waiting, because when he says he's resurrecting, when he's going to send things back to the ninth house, he says, I'm going to bring them to the surface.
One of the things he says last episode chapter was that there's a difference between resurrection and waking up, as though he's like resurrected a whole bunch of people and has been holding them in stasis, right?
Yes. So, but like, where is their soul?
Yeah.
I wonder, they've just been floating like below the surface lately. And
In my head, the river has always been something. Rivers flow out to like an ocean or something. And in my head, that was always kind of like what was happening, and maybe it got dammed up or something. But like, no, like in classic mythology, you cross the river, is what you're just saying. Yeah.
You're not dumb, Brooke.
And then
I did the same thing, and my thing was that I got way too caught on the stoma, which are at the bottom, so I was only thinking about the river as a thing with a top and a bottom, and I wasn't thinking about any of the other directions.
Yeah, but yeah, no, so crossing the river seems to really matter, actually. And then the stoma, I think, is relevant here, because the stoma, like, that's beneath. Like, that is, like, implicitly hell, right? And if we're calling these devils, like, is there a way for them to escape back up? Is that what these are?
Is it souls, or is it souls or something that have, like, been pulled down through the stoma and now they're coming back?
Right.
And one thing we do know is that the like physical aesthetic of the stoma and the physical aesthetic of the devils, huge overlap.
Are also the teeth and tongues. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I actually think that's a great point.
pretty much every mythology has some version of crossing the river to get to the afterlife. Right. And then, you tip the boatman, right? You can't swim across, and you can never swim across, right? There's a proper process to get across. Like in the Greeks, it's, you give your gold coins on the eye to the boatman, you get across. Like they're, just pick your mythology metaphor.
And so we're missing our Sharon.
Yeah.
Or we disrupted the process by putting a tower in the middle of the river that we haven't been able to see. And that's just disrupting the flow, or there's been a blockade or
something is
I'm fully on board. It's like the spirits or the revenants. Maybe it's like the parts of the soul that got away before he did the resurrection. Like
maybe it's partial souls.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Because it's like revenant magic, right? And they're coming back and they're angry and they're destructive.
Well, it also seems like you don't really know, like it seems like unclear, like what the motivation is, other than they just exist and they want a body.
And they hunger, right? Yeah. I mean, it sounds hungry. The timing fucks me up again because, so initially when we see this with Column Ash. It happens in one of the Lichter studies. Marie and I think that the reason that the Lichter studies are perfectly preserved and the reason that the facility is perfectly preserved is that it's physically in the river. So that parts of Canaan House are on what used to be Earth and parts of it are like embedded in the river. And so siphoning in the river left this empty spirit that something could come through on. We know nothing about Antioch, so we can make no claims about why they're having problems there. Initially, what I thought happened...
the timing with Antioch is like, isn't 3 or 4 months ago when Varun pops up on New Row?
I thought that was a month ago. We need to go through the timeline. You're right that this... We should build a timeline because this is not clear what's happening and something must have shifted.
Either way, we know number 7 was initially at the Mithraeum 6 months ago.
Yeah. Initially, what I thought was happening on the 9th house was that the 9th house is the only place that has been seeded with new resurrected bodies. That like for the first time in a myriad, Jod is waking up these people and sending them. And this actually goes to my next point.
And that might explain why they'd seen it so long ago and haven't seen it since.
Yeah, that's a good point. That like it is a side effect of potentially resurrection and of waking up bodies. I did want to point out that, so of course we have this classic Gideon moment that we mentioned where Crux says they hunger for the youngest of us, and Gideon's like, boy, are they out of luck, because there's no one young in the 9th house, except that in this chapter there are multiple mentions of young people. And so there's a rather gloomy looking girl who looked not much older than Honesty. There's a part where Nona says every robed old person or medium person or even quite young person was doing a thing. And that to me makes me like, I assume that those people are some of the people that Jod resurrected and sent back to refresh Harrow's house. So even if those people are turning into devils, they're not universally turning into devils, clearly.
What if Antioch was being established as like a new house of some sort or anything, something like that? Like if he got inspired by putting new resurrected bodies on the 9th, he's like, oh, let's just colonize this new planet as well or something and call it
True.
Antioch, and then suddenly it's getting overrun.
We don't know how long the tower has been in the river. And I wonder if 3 or 4
if
months
it's
ago
always
the
been there
tower
brand new.
emerged. Because there's a couple
But
of
it
things.
also says the tower is reactivated, so I think the
Yes.
tower has existed before.
Can I possibly throw out that it's the revenants are the original spirits of the bodies trying to get back? Like maybe part of the resurrection and the cost
Is
of
you
it
put
is
a
that
different
is that
spirit in?
is that he's shoving soul. He like has existing bodies laying around, and the resurrection is him shoving the souls that he
Whatever
wants
random
to
soul, just
into the
affixing a
body.
soul to a body.
Yeah.
And that's why
that's
the revenants
interesting.
are the like partially digested, partially river
Original
crossed
soul?
souls trying to get back.
We'll get into this in our
like
full
that.
murder boarding, but that goes really nicely with Marie has an appropriate obsession with the mathematics of it all, because there's like way more people die than get resurrected, which makes you wonder if it can even be pieces of multiple souls that he's shoving into each individual body, shit like that. I have a much less esoteric question, but I think it's important to ask. What did happen to Sister Canis and Deacon David?
Good questions. Kind of an ominous omission.
I think
after
this is
bringing
a
up
bad
that detail.
sign, right? Like, this is not a good thing. Everyone's like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, why would this be fine?
Yeah, this is like the classic like horror story setup.
Maybe
Okay.
he just went to go pee or something.
Well, maybe we'll
Right, probably.
look for that next time. All right, here's a bigger question that I have. Crux has this initially Crux thinks that it's Harrowhark. And then when Nona laughs at an ass joke, Crux realizes that it's not Harrow and seems to almost recognize Nona. He says, "Lady, you've gone away again, my lady. This is where you come back to. You have your little escape. You'll feel better for coming back. You remember that, Harrowhark." Nona says, "I'm not Harrowhark." Crux says, "Aye, and you've said that before. Who are you this time, if not my lady Harrowhark?" So what do you guys think about that?
I don't know if we ever really came to a conclusion on like what level of Nona the Ninth's descriptions and memories of herself as a youth, like how much of that was derived directly from the lobotomy versus actually true. Like we can't actually parse what parts of her quote unquote insanity, as she was calling it or something, was a lobotomy versus maybe something that happened, and Crux is talking about it right here. The slamming doors, etc.
Because of this line explicitly in Nona, and because of the way that Tamsin talks about her own experiences with mental illness, specifically with schizophrenia, I think part of why the experiences in Harrow feel like read kind of so true to like a type of like doubting your own reality is because both of the things are true. Like Harrow is insane in multiple ways. She grew up with schizophrenia or something like it. She gave herself a lobotomy, and she's literally haunted.
I buy that. However, I don't think it's what's happening. I am of the opinion that Harrow was never insane, which is what Ortis says in the second book. I believe that that literally everything that happens in these books is straight up like necromancy, true shit that is happening, as opposed to any sort of interpretation thing.
Sure.
And so in this case, I wonder whether part of it is that Harrow is derived from 200 souls. That actually this is that Harrow has always been haunted, even before being haunted effectively by Alecto, and then being haunted by the like memory / not memory of Gideon. I wonder if Harrow was someone who
and also
could
being
shift.
haunted by Wake.
Yes, also, that's a great point. Like, oh my God, Harrow was so haunted. Harrow was just so haunted.
Being 200 dead babies, you're just primed for the attraction.
If we're talking about math and like her parents did a type of resurrection, right? Is what it says.
Yeah,
So
that's what John said.
she's a lightning rod for haunting, which would also be an interesting thing for the devils coming towards the resurrected people.
What a great fucking point. We know ghosts react to resurrection beasts in a really like particular way. And Harrow is a whole bunch of souls shoved into one There's something weird going on there. I like the idea. I like any of these ideas.
The idea is that, what we might have called insanity in Nona the Ninth is like just true like fantasy haunting and other necromantic experiences, not actually just like figments of her imagination from this lobotomy.
Yeah. I wonder for me if Nona is and I'm thinking about this just right now, but like Nona for me is a really beautiful and perfect embodiment of childhood, of what it's like to have childlike wonder and awe and love. And it's very serious.
The trauma of being piled on as an adult. You
got to remember that those 200 people weren't just 200 souls she's made of. She's made of 200 murdered children. And I almost wonder if that's like that's what that adds up to.
Oh, God.
I also think it's an interesting discussion about like mental health in general, of it is real.
Yes.
It kind of doesn't matter what the cause is or whether it's happening like kind of in your head. It is real, because what is reality other than your own perceptions?
Yeah. Yeah. Why are we making a distinction? I think that's really interesting, Marie.
Can I just throw out also that my limited Catholicism knowledge here, like before, up until I'm looking here, Pope Benedict in 2007, kids that died didn't go to heaven or hell. They got sent to purgatory. They got put in limbo for a very long time. And it was only recently that they changed from, they were never baptized, so they were still stuck with original, whatever. I don't know enough about Catholicism, but like the souls of children get stuck in purgatory. They're in this like weird in-between place that would also lend itself to Harrow being like a soul gestalt, but like a tiny piece, right? Tiny pieces of the kids are sticking around or still, there's something weird there.
Is the river purgatory?
What do we think of Gideon's whole dad sent me charade?
I have no idea.
It's just really elaborate. So initially when she does it and Ianthe's like, you three-way double cross her, I'm like, yes, that's exactly what's happening, is a three-way double cross. Gideon rejects that and then goes on for like way too long with this whole, no, for real, dad definitely sent me things.
I don't know. It just sounded like she was being very defensive about her importance to her dad and how this could be justifying her role as being even more important. And like, I don't know, I didn't think of it as a charade necessarily. I genuinely thought of her it as her being defensive about like having this important job and being trusted to carry it out and wanting to be somebody's cavalier, like truly, after being rejected, sort of, by Harrow.
So you think it's possible that Jod did actually send her? Which
the implications are interesting because Ianthe then is like, I mean, that's impossible. Like, there's no way you're going to like actually kill Alecto. And like when we're seeing like her rebirth, it seems kind of true. So does that actually mean what Ianthe thinks it is, which is that, is this whole thing a big old setup to like get Alecto woken up and like bring him back his last person, his one and only, his first? I don't know why he wouldn't just do it himself.
This is one where I could go either way. I truly have nothing here.
It was just the whole thing was weird. And the only like thing that I feel quite certain on is this thing at the end where she's like, get in line, thou big slut, right? Because Gideon is Harrow's cavalier, right? Like, so.
But Harrow rejected her and she was very upset about it. Like, Harrow literally.
Did Harrow reject her? Harrow rejected her because she was like,
this was the whole point at the end.
Yes, but it's the same thing of like, Harrow isn't rejecting Gideon because she doesn't want Gideon. Like, I think that Harrow and Gideon are such an interesting counterpoint to Camilla and Pal.
No, I hear what you're saying. Basically, like, under duress is not a good enough reason for consent kind of situation. I get that. But the way that Gideon came out at the end of Nona was just furious. Like, I gave you myself and you didn't take it. And now look where we are. Like, look what mess we're in situation. And I think she's still stinging from that. Like, I don't think she's that...
Their relationship is not all better now. Yeah.
I just think that they have really different love languages.
Sure. But like ultimately this whole thing felt like, still reeling from that like, feeling of rejection. And then maybe having this new opportunity opening up being like, well, I don't even know where Harrow is. Yes, obviously but she's always wanted to be the cavalier to somebody who means something to her.
She's wanted to be important.
Yes.
Yes.
And so Jod is, and now Jod is God. Like, this is like all very fresh and new. And she's like kind of tickled about the whole thing. Like, I don't know, the whole thing felt like a big old defense of being like, no, I can do this. I can be important. They trust me.
I think there's part of that there. I think you're right there.
It's crazy. I don't think Gideon can lie either. I genuinely think that
I don't think Gideon's a good
happened.
liar, but it also didn't feel like a good lie. I was like surprised. For me, it felt like a terrible, obvious lie, and Ianthe was, you know, like buying it, and I didn't understand. But I don't know. I also would love to hear. So several times over the last couple episodes, Marie has brought up either to me or to all of us that she wanted to talk a little bit about who Kiriona is as opposed to Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
Will you expound on that?
So there's always this kind of debate of like, okay, you get Kiriona back and you're disappointed because it's not Gideon. It does not feel like Gideon. And so there's a kind of interesting debate constantly in like Reddit threads about, is it because every other time when you're with Gideon, you are in Gideon's head, and so you know how she feels about the things she says rather than just receiving the things she says? So is it that Gideon is actually just kind of a bitch
When you're on the outside?
naturally when you're on the outside and you don't understand? And that, like, I think Gideon and Pash are like almost the same character.
Genetics at work, man.
Which is right, genetics at work, which is why I think it's really funny, like how much Hannah really dislikes Pash. And I'm like, Pash is Gideon. Like, Pash is Gideon without the you knowing what's going on or how Pash actually feels about things. And there's so many ways in which Pash is like actually kind of kind and cares about people and is like pissed off about it, right? And that's how,
I don't know if I agree.
That's how Kiriona comes off. So there's part of that which is, this is like, that's one thing of like Gideon would read very differently and you wouldn't like Gideon as much if you didn't know what was going on in her head. The second thing is Kiriona is dead
Mega
and has
dead.
gotten everything she's ever has gotten anything she's ever wanted. She's important. She's in the cohort. She has a job.
She has parents and they were important.
And none of that matters. It's the same thing of her killing Crux and saying, it didn't feel good. Why didn't it feel good?
Yeah.
And so she is the saddest girl in the world because she has everything and she still doesn't feel good. And then there's the third thing, which is Tamsin has an old interview where she makes some comment about Gideon's soul that says Harrow, was a Happy Meal and Harrow ate the like the French fries and the burger, but where's the toy?
What?
The toy, right? Like she didn't eat the whole meal.
Which gives us this like interesting reflection of similar to Electo and Jod, right? Where it's only a partial consumption.
Yeah.
Kiriona is not quite Gideon.
There's something missing.
Reasons why Kiriona feels so different than Gideon. And one of them, she's mega sad. One of them is she actually is just kind of a bitch and we just don't realize that the way that we read Gideon usually. And number three is it's not totally Gideon.
I still disagree with number one mostly about like she's always been a bitch. We couldn't see it. I do think that instead it's a lot more, to me, the reason she's coming off as a bitch is a lot more to do kind of like with Nona's whole point of I don't really want to go back to my body, my original body, like, because then I'll remember things. I'll have the context.
Yes.
I'll like know more. And by knowing more, I am a person that I don't even like, that I think I'm mean. I don't think I'm helpful. I don't love people. And to me, that is like, that's what Kiriona looks like to me, is somebody, maybe she's only a portion of the soul. But also I think like I always remember when she told Calamities, that's right, I know 5 facts about necromancy right now. And like she was like not actually proud about that.
No.
I think it's like actually a point of like real like upset.
Well, because it's an undermining of who she considers herself to be. She's less herself now with this world that she has now.
And I also like the idea that she has everything and still feels bad about it. But
I'm also
to me, the mean part is more context has been added and it's not done her any favors.
Yeah. All of these things are true. I think it's really, really interesting. I also, the fact that she's mega dead, I do want to take this to a thing that I don't have written down here, but you guys brought up this thing of needing Thanergy to roll away the rock. Like they need to kill Crux. And Marie texted me this insane statement the other day that I hadn't thought about. And I'm sure we've talked about it and my brain is like just gelatinized right now. I can't even tell you. But that Gideon potentially has died multiple times was what Marie said. And I was like, what? And it really hit me thinking about this Thanergy question, that maybe there was a burst of Thanergy. What if Harrow killed Gideon? What if we know that Gideon survived this like organophosphate neurotoxin that was supposed to kill all of the 200 children? Like maybe survive is a strong word for these things that is happening to Gideon. Maybe she's being reborn, or she's being, she's got the god magic where she just like slowly reassembles herself. Yes, like after Mercy. I love that, John. I don't know.
But that doesn't explain getting staked and then being mega dead.
Well, she'd never been eaten before, partially eaten.
So you think the soul getting extracted kind of prevented? Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, all of this is like, we can delve into this further. I just think it's an interesting question.
On the other hand, her blood might just be a fresh source of thallergy.
All right, let's talk about the last thing that happens here. Alecto's vow to Anastasia. What do you guys make of this?
I have no idea. Alecto vows to basically be a cavalier.
That's effectively.
To Anastasia.
And now to Harrow. In my interpretation, like, Nona/Alecto is not on Jod's side. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Literally a chained monster.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I think that, to me, I suspect that's what this is all about. And John, it's your Minions meme. I can't remember even what he's called. Gru. It's your Gru meme of do all these terrible things to people and then watch as they turn their backs on you to destroy you. And it's like,
I think it's implied by Anastasia's skeleton being in the room that either Jod killed her as part of the process, or more interestingly, is that she hid in there and basically like starved or died
in order to keep the tomb shut.
Well, yeah, because if she died on the inside, right? So she
yeah, and it said ready to move the rock back or something.
Yeah. So is it?
And also, there's all of those skeletons in the water. Like, who are those?
Yeah, and one of the first things she says is, "I'm so sorry about Samael," or something like that. To Harrow before
isn't that interesting?
Varun also kind of talks about kind of like the mission to defeat God, and like we've left this too long situation. Seems like it's about to be all the RBs up against Jod, and Jod's got very few lictors left to be his hands and distract.
Are all the skeletons in the water? Like, I'm assuming he had to, like, he had to, like, kill people to put Alecto to sleep? Like, to, like, chain her up?
Oh, God.
Like,
gross. You're probably right, though.
They're, like, why, like, it doesn't sound like Anastasia was super into bone constructs. So, like, why would there be so many bones in there? Especially because it's not like the Ninth House aesthetic has taken over because no one's been in there besides Harrow. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird.
One thing that it does make clear is basically there's always been this question of why was it so important to Harrow's parents that Harrow exist, and I think this does make it clear, and it actually makes me wonder exactly how much the Ninth House knows, and how much does Harrow know, or how much is Harrow missing because she didn't grow up into the knowledge because her parents killed themselves.
The importance of their bloodline.
Right, like they know that it is incredibly important that their bloodline continues, and I wonder if it's because otherwise there is no leash on Alecto.
So that's the nursery, right?
The nursery is the beginning of the bloodline, right?
Mm-hmm. And that was committed before the tomb.
Yeah, I think it has to be before the tomb, but after Anastasia tries to become a lictor.
Yeah, and probably after the vow even, maybe.
Although we don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure. That she could have already had a children, because there's also like the idea that a lot of that sermon on cavaliers and necromancers and like the appropriate relationships between them. There's kind of like I think we've had speculation before. I don't know with you guys, but maybe with just me and Hannah, that the reason that there are all those taboos was because those were the original relationships between the first lictors. Was siblings and parents
your wife and
your wife. So it might be that Samael was like her father, because we haven't seen a parent pairing, I don't think. But we don't know everything about the lictors, but we do know for a fact that there was brother sister and that there was married.
Act 4. See you next time, my little nunlets. Well, with that, we're going to close it out. But we will be back next week with the Unwanted Guest. And savor it, my dearest listeners, because we're going to take some amount of time off publishing to let John make friends with a sentient potato before we come back with some group murder boarding. So if you want to follow along with us, our reading calendar, which I will update today, is available on our website at frontlinefifth.podbean.com. And you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok, which are linked in the show notes. If you enjoyed this podcast, please tell your friends. Give us a 5-star rating anywhere you can. And of course, if you didn't enjoy the podcast, feel free to lie. We have a Patreon, which you can join for access to bonus content every month. You can become a patron and they can cross the river at will at patreon.com/frontlinefifth. And you can check out our merch at our Redbubble store linked in the show notes. Finally, if you have any fun theories you'd like to share with us, feel free to email us at frontlinefifth@gmail.com. And with that,
now that John will get back to you.
Yeah, that's right. John actually is checking that. So congratulations to everyone who wrote over the last year and was sad that I never responded. With that, I'll just tell you, don't unlock any tombs or enter any doors without permission because, ghosts. Bye.
Frontline Fifth is a Locktoon podcast conceived by Maria Adamako and starring Maria Adamako, Hannah Grenwald, Brooke Anderson, and John Ryan. Our cover art was designed and created by Maria Adamako, who also edited this episode. Our fabulous music was composed and recorded by Blake Anderson. Sonia Grenwald designs our killer merch. Hot, gorgeous. The Locktoon series is a completely dope-ass book series by Tamsin Muir, who does not know we exist and is no way affiliated with this podcast.
Oh, well done. That was good.